When we speak about twins, we all know they come from different spheres transcending countries and continents. We're fascinated by people born in pairs and can't get enough of them because twins are not the norm. Some are quite famous, while others have astounded us by being professional wrestlers. Here are the unique, unusual twins that you would never believe existed. The Maguire Twins. Wrestling as an entertainment sport has been a big thing for many decades. Whether it's the biceps, or we're talking about Yokozuna, or even spandex-wearing woman wrestlers who blow our minds, the wrestling ring has had a diverse range of competitors. The Maguire twins Billy and Benny McGreary were born in North Carolina and became famous because of their size and were honoured by featuring in the Guinness Book of World Records as the heaviest twins around. They were born 2 minutes apart and prematurely weighing only 5 pounds. Measles at only 4 years damaged their pituitary glands. At 10 years, they were 200 pounds, and at their heaviest, they weighed 1,468 kilograms combined. They were popular when they showcased great moves at the carnival. Some of these moves were belly-flopping moves and steamrolling splashes. In their free time, they liked riding motorcycles. A motorcycle accident was the cause of Billy's death at only 32 years. Many decades later, his brother Benny also passed on. Namibian Twins. While many people of today consider 70 to 80 years as longevity, these amazing twins are making that record and notion look so wrong. Being born about 100 years ago, the two ladies grew from childhood to adulthood. According to reports, both ladies grew and married in the same community where they lived. The two ladies, who've been inseparable from birth, kept their bonds together even in old age and attend functions together. They got major recognition after they appeared on Pinterest for their age at a festival known as Omongogo. This is a festival which is held in the palace of the village head or king, and the much-talked-about twins caught the attraction of photographers who took their photos, and thanks to those photos, the twins are now viral all over the internet. Lucy and Maria Elmer. More often than not, twins do look alike, and their parents struggled from day one to tell them apart until much later they establish a distinguishing feature that tells them apart. They are the usual fraternal twins with a bit of an edge. These are biracial twins. One is white and one is black, and they indeed come from the same parents. They were born in 1997 to a white father and African-American mother who was half Jamaican. First, most people don't pick up that they are sisters, leave alone twins. Genetically related twin babies. This next one would make it on an episode of Jerry Springer or Dr. Phil. This set of twins married another set of identical twins. The kids they got were not only cousins, but were also genetically related. I agree, it is a little confusing. But then again, this is not a traditional setup. Brianna and Brittany, after living as twins for the rest of their lives, would have sought out something different. But when they met Josh and Jeremy, they kindly brought the twinning factor back into the world for the rest of their lives. The couples met at a festival labelled Twins Day in a little town, Twinsburg, and got married a year later in a joint ceremony. This was all captured on television by the TLC network. The world's oldest twins. People from Japan and China are said to live longer, probably because they eat healthy and organic for the better part of their lives. They stick around foods like fish and rice and don't indulge in any McDonald's. Kin and Jin are twins who live to a ripe old age. They were born in Nagoya, Japan, and died when they were 107 and 108 years. Their names translate to gold and silver. One thing, though, is that despite the fact that they were twins, they did not have the same blood type. They had 6 children, 11 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. Carmen and Lupita. Conjoined twins are an interesting phenomenon, yet this is usually a rare occurrence and is said to happen once in every 49,000 births up to 189,000 births. These odds are much higher in places such as Southwest Asia and Africa. When you think about it, it's not so unusual given that there are about 8 billion people in the world. Carmen and Lupita are conjoined at the torso, and they share the same reproductive system and the intestines. They team up and drive a car and share the controls as one handles the steering wheel and the other gets the brakes, gear and gas pedal. The two are also big TikTok stars. The Gym Twins. Imagine living life feeling like you were missing a part of yourself, like a part of yourself was missing. Only later in life to know you had a twin you never met in your earlier life. This was the situation that the Gym Twins found themselves in. They lived for 40 years without meeting each other or ever knowing they were twins. The story is they were separated at birth after being put up for adoption at 3 weeks old in 1940. Weirdly, even though they were adopted, both their adoptive parents named them James, and they lived 40 miles apart, and their quality of life was somewhat similar. The adoptive parents knew about the other twin but never revealed it to the Gibbons twins. They also still had similarities growing up. Both had a pet called Toy. Both were passionate about woodwork and math, and also were heavy smokers. They both married a woman named Linda, whom they divorced, and married again a woman named Betty. They each had a boy named James Allen, and also took vacations on the same beach in Florida. When one took initiative, they met, reunited, and agreed to be scientifically studied, revealing they had similar brain activity and medical history. Twins give birth on the same day. Twins are said to have some weird telepathy and can do and feel things in sync. All that is commonplace except the idea that they would give birth on the same day. That's out of this world. 19-year-old Ashley and Amy gave birth to their daughters on the same day in the same hospital on New Year's Eve. These girls are not just identical twins but also best friends. They initially had due dates that were weeks apart, but when Amy went to hospital in Akron, Ohio, her sister was also ready for her baby to be born a few hours later. The children now share a birthday, even though they are not twins. Abby and Brittany Hensel. These twins have caused quite a buzz in America, where they reside. Abby and Brittany were born in 1990 with their heads connected to the same torso. They, however, each have a stomach, lungs, and spinal cord. Their story has been featured in a variety of television shows. Since they learned how to crawl, they've learned to live a life of cooperation, from swimming, running, and driving. They've been on the Oprah Winfrey Show and even starred in their TV show called Abby and Brittany in 2012. They've also been working as teachers since 2013. June and Jennifer Gibbons. This is somewhat of a sad story that exposes the ills of the British legal system. It treated those who did not conform as if they were criminally insane. Born in 1963, these two sisters were Caribbean immigrants born in Wales in the UK. They were twins who spoke Creole and were not easily understood by many. They were victims of racism and ostracized, and due to this they created a cocoon-like world where they could only speak to each other. The school system had them see a child psychologist and separated them. When they reunited as teenagers, the sisters got into all manner of delinquent behaviors such as alcoholism and drug abuse. By 1981, they were into vandalism and theft. This landed them in Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security mental hospital, for 11 years, where they got antipsychotic medication. Jennifer committed suicide, and a little later her sister spoke out and explained that because they were different, they were institutionalized for 12 years instead of the normal 2 years for delinquents. Need and Nelly Colstein. When it comes to conjoined twins, life can be tough. The life expectancy is cut short, and for most conjoined twins, it's not expected for them to live past their childhood. When Need and Nelly were born, they had separate brains despite being joined from the back of the head. They also shared a major artery. Doctors said they wouldn't live past the age of 10 years. They were wrong. The girls turned 18 years a while back and now have their own YouTube channel. Anna and Lucy DeSink. These beautiful women recently won a competition that declared them the most identical twins. They look alike and also do everything together. They've been in the public eye and piqued the interest of many. They shower together, eat together, and do things together. They hope to get pregnant simultaneously and live a life of deeper connection. They share the same boyfriend. Julia and Michael Toraneza. These twins are rarer than the others, one of the twins with Down syndrome and the other without. The twins share everything except one specific chromosome. This is the 21st chromosome, which leads to heart defects among other complications. Michael's Down syndrome is severe and he doesn't speak with words, yet they can communicate well through their twin connection. Cohen and Stewart. The parents of these twins struggled with fertility after trying out IVF for several years. When they got pregnant, they had two boy twins who were opposites of each other. One has blue eyes and pale skin, and the twin has brown eyes and darker skin. Turns out at the fertility center something went wrong, and during the IVF process another man's sperm got mixed up. Ronnie and Don Gallion. Born in Dayton, Ohio back in 1951, these twins were conjoined at the chest and the groin. They shared a set of organs, and after a long stay at the hospital, it was agreed that it was too risky to separate them. They had problems getting an education since no school wanted to take them in. They never learned to read and write and could not get an income. One thing though, they were famous because of their situation, and they used this to get by and support their families. They died in 2020 and were one of the oldest twins around. Ella and Anna Krzyzanowski. These twins were born with the Treacher-Collins syndrome, or TCS. They had deformities on their facial features, and after a series of hard times they got the diagnosis and started several surgeries. They had bone-anchored hearing aids and use Instagram to share their journey. In this way they hope to inspire teenage girls who struggle with self-image. Lara Amara. In 2016, a photographer saw these captivating albino twins. The photographer wanted to do a personal project with them. This photography project was applauded by the fashion world and changed the lives of these girls 180 degrees. These girls were born with albinism, a skin condition that causes the skin and hair to have pale pigmentation. The world has affirmed that beauty is diverse by rooting for them. Identical twins that look nothing alike. Although Adam and Neil Pearson were born identical, these twins suffer from neurofibromatosis. Each of the twins has been affected in different ways. Their appearance has been altered. The physical attributes of the twins are very different. Neil looks unaffected from the outside but has experienced neurological issues that impact his memory. This is a situation where a genetic order causes tumours in the nervous system. The tumours attach themselves to the nerve tissues. They are benign and non-cancerous but can still cause complications such as hearing loss, loss of vision, learning difficulties and cardiovascular diseases. The tumours on the face can become so bad and big that it makes them a lifelong burden. The way these twins deal with the challenges is testament that the human spirit is resilient. Sharik and Tariq Elliott. These 9-year-old twins from Florida were born at the same time, but they had albinism, which is a condition that causes one to have little to no pigment in their skin and hair. They are sensitive to the sun and have eye problems. It's rare to find twins in this kind of situation where one has albinism and the other doesn't. Sharik was born with albinism, but her twin brother did not have the condition. When the twins were born, their mother already had an older daughter who has albinism, Shateria. She supports her smaller sister in navigating the journey of being different. Ruth and Kaidi. The world is full of special people with special abilities, and this time these people became the center of people's attention. Ruth and Kaidi are one such pair of twins. As models, they like to push the limits of what they can or can't do. They pose as conjoined twins. They've used that as the avenue for their modeling and the very X factor that sets them apart from other models. Look at this picture. Look at it closely. They're not conjoined, but their poses often communicate otherwise. They can make these pictures seem so real. Shivanath and Shivram Sahu. These are the conjoined twins from Kenda village in Balota Bazar in India. Unusual in the eyes of the media, these twins were offered an opportunity to be separated but turned it down. Joined at the waist and sharing a pair of legs but still having 4 arms between them, they believe their conjoining is a gift from God. Having turned 18, they are now too old to get the operation and continue to enjoy life. Petrushka and Anushka. Quite an incredible pair when you see the Olsen twins come to mind from the show Full House. Maybe you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in the movie Twins. That was a good one. Petrushka and Anushka are Siamese twins joined at the neck. Beautiful and jolly, no doubt. There is little known about them online. If you do come across more info, please let us know. That was quite the journey. Thank you for tagging along and understanding the different world of twins, their joys, their low moments, and their uniqueness. If you're a twin and know about other twins' unique stories, share your stories in the comments section.